Pick a problem, any problem, and do something about it, because to somebody who's hurting, something is everything.
The path to making money is to solving problems.
What I do in a given day is I have a set of problems that need to be solved, and I start at the most important and work my way down.
Rise and shine, it's Entspresso time. What's up, Believe Nation? It's Evan. My one word is believe, and I believe in you. I believe you have Michael Jordan level talent at something, and I want you to find it, embrace it, and use it to make a difference. So let's start your day off right together. Grab your coffee and sip on today's message, Solve Problems. Over to you, Oprah Winfrey. Also, if you want to hear what Oprah and other successful entrepreneurs have to say about building confidence, check out my 254 Confidence series.
I have paid attention to my life because I understand that my life, just like your life, is always speaking to you. Your real work is to figure out where your power base is.
Every day for the next 254 days, I will send you a 30-second to 5-minute video for free every morning to help you build unstoppable confidence. The link is in the description below.
I wake up every morning. Espresso keep me going. I wake up every morning.
You build a legacy, not from one thing, but from everything. I remember when I just opened my school in 2007, I came back and I had the great joy of sitting at Maya Angelou's table. She hadn't been able to attend the opening in South Africa, and I said to her, "Oh, Maya, the Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy, that's going to be my greatest legacy." I remember she was standing at the counter making biscuits, and she turned, she put the dough down, and she looked at me and she said, "You have no idea what your legacy will be." I said, "Excuse me? I just opened this school and these girls and it's going to be," and she said, "You have no idea what your legacy will be, because your legacy is every life you touch." Every life you touch. That changed me. And it's true, you can't personally stop anybody from walking into a school with an assault rifle, nor can you single-handedly ensure that the rights that your mothers and your grandmothers fought so hard for will be preserved for the daughters that you may someday have. And it'll take more than you alone to pull 40 million Americans out of poverty, but who will you be if you don't care enough to try? And what mountains could we move, I think? What gridlock could we eradicate if we were to join forces and work together in service of something greater than ourselves? You know, my deepest satisfaction and my biggest rewards have come from exactly that. Pick a problem, any problem, and do something about it, because to somebody who's hurting, something is everything.
You have the ability to help people, and I'm a firm believer that if you have the ability, you have the responsibility. If you can, then you must. This is what entrepreneurs do. We see big problems, we get frustrated with them, we want to solve them. We don't just sit around and complain like everybody else does. We have to find a solution for it. We want to make it better for ourselves and better for the people around us as well. That's the difference between entrepreneurs and everybody else. The path to making money is to solving problems. If you want to make a lot of money, you have to solve a problem, right? Solve a big problem. You want to make money quickly? Solve that big problem quickly. And so I think it's something that people can resonate with, but you have to tie it into your purpose and your pain. The reason why I love helping entrepreneurs so much is because I struggled so much being an entrepreneur. As much as I lean in on the positive and say, I love entrepreneurs because we're going to solve all the world's major problems, because we don't complain, because we tackle the impossible and we make the world better, that's all true. But the real reason why I love entrepreneurs so much and helping is because I struggled so much myself as an entrepreneur. And just feeling that lack of self-worth, that lack of confidence, that feeling like I'm not good enough, that I'm putting all this effort in and I'm not getting any kind of results. That has never happened before in my life, where you put in work and you get results. Here I was putting in tons of work and getting zero results. That's how it can resonate with everybody watching, because that was me. I still to this day resonate more with the people who are struggling to buy a Big Mac meal at McDonald's than I do the people buying the fancy cars and condos. Even though I live more in that world now, I still relate better to the startup and to the grind, to the hustle and the pain, because that's actually my story. It's a world that my son won't really know. And so I think if you can tap into the deep pain that you have inside you, wherever that came from, and then not just live in that pain and suffer forever, but turn it into how can I use this pain to serve? Because in that service, you are solving a problem for other people. And whether you choose to help 5 people, 10 people have a little impact on the people closest to you, or whether you go on a big mission to solve the problem for the world, like I'm trying to do, either path is okay. I'm gonna give you 3 ways on how to do it. The first one is to remember your big why. The big why is the mission. The big why is what you're trying to accomplish. Why? Why does this mean so much to you? For me, it's helping entrepreneurs believe in themselves. I want to solve the world's biggest problem. I think we could have already solved cancer by now, but the woman who would have solved cancer is a manager in an accounting firm instead of actually going down that biology path. Because her parents didn't believe in her, because she didn't believe in herself, because she never took an interest in biology for whatever reason, a whole sorts of reasons. But she could have done this great thing, and instead she's in a job that she doesn't like. So remembering that big mission on a daily basis helps keep you motivated to keep going. Number 2, remember your little why. Sometimes the big why is too big. Sometimes the big why is too all-encompassing. You feel like you can't do it. I'm trying to solve the world's biggest problem. I'm trying to solve a problem that will never be solved. In my lifetime, it will not be solved, and yet I wake up every day and I try to go solve it. Emptying the ocean with a cup every time. That's what I'm trying to do. I will never empty the ocean. So sometimes that can be overwhelming and you feel like you can't do it and you're not good enough and who are you to go off and do this big thing. In that case, remember the little why. And the little whys are all the individual people that you have helped. So whenever I get worried that I can't go off and do the thing that I'm trying to do, solve the world's biggest problem, I just think to the people who I have helped. I think about Alex and Lily. I think about the people I've met through people buying the book and people messaging me through YouTube and the one-on-ones I've had with people around the world through the events that I've gone to. I know that I've touched those people. It may not seem logical or easy for me to do the big mission, but I know that I've helped those people that I've come in touch with. And that can give you the motivation to keep going. Knowing that you've helped at least one person, and at least another person, and another person, and reminding yourself of those individual people, so it brings it home as opposed to just thinking this big mass problem, this faceless problem, I think can really help. And number 3 is just to start making money. You know, as you start making money, as you start building momentum for your business, it starts to breathe more momentum, right? One of the hardest things to do is be an entrepreneur and not be making any money. It's really hard to keep going when you just keep putting in tons of work and don't see money coming in. And it's not that money is the only purpose. You're trying to do something big and noble, but you need to make money in the process too. And the faster you start making money, the faster you'll be able to have more confidence and keep building your business. And so what I look for is if your purpose comes from your pain and you've solved it for yourself, how you make money is you start shortcutting that path for other people. So whatever your pain was, so for me, you know, struggling in entrepreneurship and taking however many years to get out of it and solve it and fix it, and then taking that path, if it took you 10 years to figure out the solution to your pain, or 3 years, you can condense that down for people. If you could take that thing that took you 3 to 10 years to learn and you condense it down into 30 days, because there's a guide now, because there's you, because you were figuring it all out for yourself. You were stumbling around and not sure of the path and super confused, but now you can be the guide for other people. You can tell them the step-by-step exercises on what to do, and you can make money doing that. Whether that's making YouTube videos like this and it's step-by-step, whether it's becoming an author, making your own book, whether that's selling your own course online, whether it's a video course or e-course, there's lots of ways to be able to do it. Or thinking, what is the most effective way to condense the process of becoming what you've become from where you were, and then guiding people along that journey. The thing that you wish that you had. I wish that I had this YouTube channel when I was 19 and struggling in my business. Create the thing you wish you had when you were the person in that hole, and then start charging for it. Start making money for it. Start building momentum. Start breathing new life into what you're doing. Build a team. Go solve even bigger problems. That's when you find ultimate satisfaction. If you have the ability to help people, then it's your responsibility to do so. If you can, then you must. Now I've got a really special bonus clip I think you guys are going to enjoy, but before that, question of the day, I want to know, what is the big problem that you are trying to solve? If you could snap your fingers and the world looks a different way, how would it look? What is that issue that you are trying to tackle yourself? Leave it down in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I believe in you. I hope you continue to believe in yourself and whatever your one word is, much love. I'll see you again tomorrow morning for another shot of Entspresso, and enjoy the bonus clip.
I wake up every morning. Espresso keep me going.
We are not a company that normally China call. We call ourselves a company that's running a platform, a company that is running an ecosystem. We are almost everywhere. People say, Jack, you know, you are in the B2B and B2C, and you're calling C2B on finance and online payment, logistics, cloud computing. You are everywhere. Not because we're greedy, not because we want to do it, because we have to do it. If we do not do it, China e-commerce in the years will collapse. I remember 9 years ago when I started at Alipay, people say, Jack, don't touch the financing sector because it's illegal, you may be in prison. And we taught ourselves if we don't do it, the China e-commerce will always like a chat room. Everybody say, it's a good thing, and I don't pay, you don't get the things. So I say, well, put me in the prison. Let's make sure that Alipay, the payment solution, works. And people say the payment solution is such a stupid idea. It's an escrow service. I pay you, hold the money, and you get the things. You pay the money. If you don't get the things you want, return the money. They say it's a stupid product. And I say, as long as it solves the problem, I like stupid things, you know. Let's make stupid things smart. Keep on improving every day.
I like to say my management style is problem solver in chief. And so what I do in a given day is I have a set of problems that need to be solved, and I start at the most important and work my way down. And for the problems I don't have time for, somebody else gets to solve them. Now, if somebody's already solving a problem, I don't need to get involved if the problem's getting solved. But you know, people go, wow, so your day's just full of problems. I'm like, yeah, I've got a lot of problems. But it's sort of like how a math professor thinks of problems, right? Is that, think of a great math professor who has no math problems to solve. He's a very sad math professor. And so that's very much how I look at it. Solving problems is every problem is an opportunity for innovating and being creative and finding something new. And that's what I love to do, and I do it every day.
We believe that software is at a stage where, software increasingly is playing a more and more critical role in solving things, which it didn't before.
Okay.
So to me, when I look at cars, people spend an inordinate amount of time in cars. These are resources which are very poorly utilized. Right now, as we speak, you can look outside and you can see all the cars which are parked.
Right, the cars we rented to get here is just sitting in the parking lot.
That's right, so they get used less than 10%. So we see these problems and we see, okay, can we solve it at scale? And does computing play a part in it, software and computer science? And while the effort may seem ambitious or crazy, we take a very disciplined approach inside, right? So those are thought through like businesses, which we are building. And it's just that we're willing to take a long-term view, but we run them in a very disciplined way. Our research can be longer term, and we do that precisely in research. When we take research projects like Google ATAP or a core research, we never know whether some of them even makes viable business applications, but we want to push the technology at times because you don't know what's possible on the other side.
Raise your standard.
Apple at the core, its core value is that we believe that people with passion can change the world for the better.
Not one drop of my self-worth depends on your acceptance of me.
I don't ever give up. I'd have to be dead or completely incapacitated.
Hey Believe Nation, if you want to see my all-time favorite top 10 rules of success, I have a very special secret video for you. These are the individual clips that I have personally learned the most from and applied to my life and my business. Check the link in the description for details.